now in the field helping, cutting down trees, helping with rescues if need be. The governor said that that there was a very hard hit area, especially in Valdosta. I see Abby's joining us now. So Abby, we will let you take it away and speak with the governor to see what else we can learn about the deaths in our state and the damage we're dealing with right now.
Yeah, we're here at GEMA headquarters, and I'm joined with Governor Brian Kemp, giving that update at the state's operations center earlier. What are you starting to hear from crews on?
A lot of damage, as we know. We've had 11 fatalities, so certainly our thoughts and prayers go out to those families and those communities affected. One of those, fortunately, was a first responder. So very dangerous environment out there. A lot of power lines down, a lot of trees down on power lines, obviously, but also on houses. We've got a lot of businesses, agricultural facilities that have been damaged. We got hospitals without power, nursing homes we're responding to. We know we have 115 buildings just in Lowndes County alone where people are inside that we can't get to. We're having to cut our way into those buildings. So we're still assessing on a lot of things, especially on roadways and other things. We've got a couple of spots on the interstates that are closed, but you know, we got thousands of people that are responding to this. National Guard, the Department of Natural Resources, Department of Public Safety, Georgia DOT, Department of Agriculture, and so on.
That area of Valdosta that you're talking about, is that one of the hardest hit areas, and where are we looking at across the state to send those resources? Well,
it took the brunt of the blow of the storm when it first came into the state after it came out of the Big Bend area in Florida. Obviously, as a Cat 4 hurricane, it was a Cat 2 when it got into Georgia, which is very unusual, in many ways unprecedented, to have a Cat 2 hurricane actually hit land in Georgia, and certainly tropical storm force winds all the way up into middle and parts of North Georgia on the path from Valdosta over to Augusta. So, you know, anybody that was in that path or on the right side of that really took a very hard hit. But we got a lot of issues statewide with the amount of rain that we've had, flash flooding, trees down, power outages literally all over the state. And I would just urge people to be weather aware, be patient. It's going to take us a long time to get to everybody. It's going to take us a long time to get the power up, but we are literally throwing every resource that we have. We've called up additional National Guard, and we have over 10,000 people working at the power company, Georgia Power, and the EMCs responding to power outages.
Just going outside, looking at the sunshine, a lot of people thinking now could be the time to go out. What would be your message to them, especially as we start to have concerns for the creeks, some of our rivers here?
Yeah, definitely need to watch for flash flooding. Potentially, you know, you see leaning trees in this environment. They could fall at any moment. If you're in your home, be aware of that as well. You know, we'd urge people not to get out if they don't have to, but if they do, just be very cautious, be patient. You know, yield to our first responders and people that are trying to get to the storm damage to help people or get power back on, and just be very careful out there. It's you know, it's a lot of damage. It's a lot of damage across most of our state, and so it's going to take us a long time to get this fixed.
I know downstairs at the Operations Center, you were talking about your prayers are with those families, especially I know next to kin being notified. As we start to learn more, is there any information that you can share with us about how those folks died?
Yeah, I wouldn't want to say too much about that yet until they notify next to kin and some of that becomes public, but I know there's some information that's getting out on social media. But I mean, we've definitely had fatalities from falling trees, either on vehicles or on houses. I don't have all the specific details just yet, but I mean, you know, we knew yesterday this was a dangerous storm, and it's still dangerous, and we just don't want that to happen to anybody else. So just please be weather aware for especially, you know, big trees that may fall that are leaning if you're out driving and other things.
These gentlemen behind you, we have Agriculture Commissioner Tyler Harper, our Insurance Commissioner John King. They represent two of many state agencies that are coming to the areas hardest hit, like Augusta and Valdosta. What is your message to those folks there tonight as they try to pick up the pieces and get to people and give them help?
Well, it's a good thing about the Operations Center. We literally have every state agency, the federal emergency management agencies embedded here with us. We're in contact with all the locals, and so we're all able to coordinate and respond and move assets and coordinate moving assets. And really the message is if people are needing something at the local level, talk to your local emergency management agency folks at the county level. They have a process to get that up to GEMA, and then we can help distribute resources, supplies, send crews, do whatever. It's a really great way for us to respond very efficiently and not have people doing duplication of services. And then it helps us coordinate on our response and emergency declarations that we'll be doing on disaster relief, like with the Agriculture Commissioner. And then I know Commissioner King and his team are already working on the fraudsters that are out there that are trying to take advantage of our citizens because of a tragic event like this hurricane.
I remember Hurricane Michael. I was down in Macon, Georgia, in Crisp County at the time, and we saw so much damage. What are we looking at when it comes to some of the damage to some of our state? Could this be some of the most costly damage that we've seen?
Well, I think it's going to be more costly than Michael. So as bad as that was, this may be worse. I mean, we'll know more in the next few days, but it's bad for sure. It's been a tragic loss of life, and we just don't want to lose anybody else.
How can Georgians all across our state try to pitch in and help right now?
Yeah, I'd just say if you're wanting to volunteer or donate, just make sure you're doing that to credible organizations that you know, either in your local community or people like the Red Cross. Just be very careful. There are, unfortunately, people that'll take advantage of you in this situation. There's a lot of resources on the Attorney General's website and at the Georgia Emergency Management Agency's website as well. And if you're wanting to volunteer physically, helping, clear roads, debris removal, I would steer you to the local emergency management agency. They can help coordinate your efforts with other local law enforcement and first responders.
I appreciate your time, Governor. Thank you for taking the time to speak with us. We're here at the GMA headquarters right here in Atlanta, where those recovery and response efforts are going to continue to take place. Megan, back to you.